Hey guys, RPR. So the U.S. government licensing a live rabies-based Ebola vaccine. This is pretty crazy. Take a listen here.
Today on the Federal Register, the United States government is announcing that they're giving an exclusive license for a Ebola vaccine based upon the rabies virus. And we have a link to this on our blog post, and we go into a little bit of detail and analysis here. Basically, just in time for the most recent outbreak of Ebola in Africa, which potentially has already spread into North America via Canada, the National Institutes for Health is licensing a rabies-based Ebola vaccine produced by Excel Bio. The way this rabies-based virus vaccine works is they take the rabies virus and they modify the exterior coating surrounding that virus, it's called an envelope, to include Ebola proteins. And then they make two versions of it. One is a killed virus, which they're planning on giving to humans, and they believe it'll confer protection from all medically relevant filoviruses and rabies. And then there's a live attenuated version, which they're going to give to non-human primates. So, if it all works as planned, the person who's vaccinated is going to be protected from rabies and Ebola. Of course, such things often have unintended consequences, and we'll make a wager that giving live attenuated Ebola modified rabies vaccines to wild non-human primates in Africa may result in some unusual and deadly selection pressures. Now, the other thing to be aware of here is that this isn't just a standalone situation. As we've blogged about recently, the U.S. government is showing a major concern for a devastating zero-day pandemic exploit. This has started in basically around the time H7N9 started rearing itself. But
Okay, and if that's not crazy enough, here's where it gets really crazy. By the way, link in the description to watch this whole video. But in the film, 28 days later, this matches the exact scenario, the exact infection here. In 28 days later, you have a rabies-based virus or infection that is spread through Ebola. As you see here, the design for the symptoms of rage was based on Ebola, which is communicable in all primates, including humans, and is transmitted through the blood. Ebola is a hemorrhagic fever which leads to a rash, red eyes, and both internal and external bleeding. Indeed, in 28 days later, the aftermath, a graphic novel set between 28 days later and 28 weeks later, it's explained that the Ebola virus was being used by the scientists as a carrier for the inhibitor, which mutated into rage. So the key here is you can equate rage to rabies, okay? It's the same thing. So, isn't that interesting? Coincidence? As you see here, the case in Canada just recently, as stated in the video, that the case in Africa may have been spread to Canada, as we have a case in Canada. Although they've denied that he does not have Ebola, he was showing symptoms of hemorrhagic fever. So are we being told the whole story here? I don't know, but the fact remains that that vaccine matches the 28 days later virus. And of course, this whole zombie craze is all part of the agenda. It's all about dehumanization and desensitization. Desensitize us to love the sight of flesh and blood, to crave for it, to, they want to normalize this scenario in our minds. It's also being used to desensitize soldiers, because when the time comes, it will be easier for them to kill us like wild animals, because that's what they've been trained for, and they have been literally training for this type of scenario for a while now. It's all been documented. All these drills going on the past couple of years, everything going on. Zombies is a great way to portray the masses as a bunch of brainless animals that need to be destroyed. Case in point, many of you will recall the zombie UFO disaster crash drill. Yeah, that's what that was about. Sure, they will tell us it's all tongue-in-cheek so that they can get the younger crowd into preparedness. That was the official reason. But, that's just the cover. And they are literally training for an apocalypse, and they have been for years. Many of us know this who've been researching into this topic. So if anyone has more information, leave it in the comments. I'll have links for you guys to check out in the description, as always.